Blessed love, my people. Blessed love, blessed love. Welcome once again to Community Conversations. It's Friday night. You know the slot is 9 o'clock. And I have to apologize, my brothers and sisters, for the late start. As always, do you know what? From the time I came back onto these shores, it's just been one challenge after another. And this week has been particularly trying on a personal level, my brothers and sisters. So let's just say that I'm raring to go. I think we're going to have quite a long one tonight, to be fair. And we're going to be looking at the latest post, which is Marcus Nasty's latest shenanigans. We're going to be hearing from two of his victims tonight, my brothers and sisters. I see everyone's in the room, gathering very quickly. I hope my moderators are here. Yes, we got a moderator on board, fantastic. And we're hoping to get one more as well. A couple of my moderators are on holiday at the moment and otherwise engaged. So we're going to be hearing from two of Marcus Nasty's victims today. And this is not up for conjecture from anyone that wants to go on about it. We've had people in the DMs cherry picking and trying to make divisions between, oh, well, was he guilty of rape, or are you now proving that he knocked women about, which we all know about, and almost justifying it. And I'm saying that that's not acceptable, my brothers and sisters. We're living in a time where women are objectified enough. You understand? They're absolutely objectified enough. And men need to understand what is acceptable and what is completely unacceptable, and what they should be vilifying their brethren for. That's what really needs to happen. But I'm going to get back to that in a minute. So we're going to look at that. We're going to hear from the victims as well. I do want to highlight a couple of other things today. So I'm kind of going to work backwards, if you like. And at the end, I'm going to do updates as to what's actually been happening in the last kind of week or so in relation to certain things. So that's what we've got in store for tonight. So I'll get on to Marcus Nasty in a minute. But the first thing that I want to point out actually is that there is a website, my brothers and sisters, called Omegle, Omegle, Omegle. Now, I was alerted to this website because apparently there has been a child or a couple of children in my child's school who have got involved with this. So the school put out an alert and parents were alerted. But when I started to dig into this thing, I actually couldn't believe what I was seeing. And I think all parents need to be aware of this website, because it should belong on the dark web, but you can get it on Google. So I'm going to kind of take us through that and just kind of alert some awareness around what's going on with the Omegle thing. It is absolutely horrendous. So basically, Omegle, my brothers and sisters. So Omegle is, one second for me. If you can see that there, I hope you can. Let me just turn my camera off a minute so it's a lot easier. Okay. So I can't see it because I can't big up my screen. I don't know what's going on, but you can see it there. It tells you basically what Omegle's all about, what the website is, what kind of thing it is. And I actually can't believe, my brothers and sisters, I really, really can't believe that we've got this kind of thing operating on Google where children can actually access it. It's really disgusting. So have a read of that. I put in the search question, is Omegle safe? And this is what came up, my brothers and sisters. Really. I literally can't big up my screen to read it, but I'm sure everybody here is literate and can hear what's going on. So, you know, this is a website that is not safe for children. There have been warnings and investigations about it. It has racist content. It's something that young people can access pretty much. They say from the age of 13. But there's been recent police investigations and BBC investigations where they've warned of the dangers of this website, Omegle. It was started in 2009 by some American dude in Seattle. And as far as I'm concerned, you've got to be a weird person, you know, maybe have leanings that way yourself to even set up something quite as horrendous as this website. There's no moderation. You don't need any registration. You don't need to have any kind of age authentication or anything like that in order to access this website. Have a read of that. And as I say, it's not an app, my brothers and sisters. Here it says that the minimum age is 13 and the maximum age is from 18 upwards, basically. But it has a moderated side and unmoderated side, but even the unmoderated side is not moderated at all. So predators have been accessing this site. It's becoming very popular amongst the young people and the children, so I'm told. And it's something that we really, really need to shut down. I'm just appalled. I can't even believe that something like this is actually taking place in the community, my brothers and sisters. It is absolutely ridiculous. So yeah, that's what it is. Please, 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 please be aware, because I just do not understand how it is that this can even be on Google. You can just tap it in, it goes onto Google straight away, and up pops this website, which you can just jump straight on with no kind of process, authentication, anything like that. And they go as far as to label the people that you encounter on there as strangers, stranger 1, stranger 2, stranger 3, and on it goes. It's actually, it's absolutely disgusting. You said it's really not clear, so please read some of it. I might get back to that at the end, because I'm not sure why I can't enlarge in my screen. Normally I get an icon for that and it's not showing up today. So I would have read it out normally, but if you can enlarge your screen when you look back at the stream later on, perhaps that will be the answer. Or I might have time to get back to that later on. So let's really get into something else that I wanted to talk about, my brothers and sisters. Something else that I wanted to talk about. So basically, what I was saying about, so it's a predator site. Sorry, before I go into that, no, Nicola M, it's not a predator site. It is a normal chat site, chat room, where people meet strangers and they can just have a chat. But of course, because of the lack of checks and balances, it's been infiltrated by paedophiles, and children are being groomed on it because of the easy access, basically. Someone says that my daughter had a friend that was on this. My daughter had a friend that was on this, and when she told me her friend was on the site, it's filth. Yeah, that's what we're hearing as well. I mean, I just couldn't even believe that it existed. I'm actually thinking of trying to do some stings, you know, like the paedophile hunters, trying to do some kind of sting with these people and catch some of their ass, my brothers and sisters, because I'm that appalled. I'm that appalled. Yeah, asking young girls for pics and men doing unspeakable things. Absolutely, it's absolute filth. So it's being infiltrated. It's going around the young people. A lot of them don't know what it is, and they get onto it, and it's not a good thing at all. It should be illegal. Apparently, it's been reported to the government. The BBC did an investigation into it. I had no idea what this thing was until the school talked about it and alerted us. But what's being done? You know, the government have alerted, they said the authorities have been alerted. Means nothing. And we're not quite sure how long ago that was, but it doesn't seem, no, it's not been on the news. Schools are aware of it. Some schools, not all schools. And it's just a mess. But these are the things that we're up against. So there's a whole generation that are actually, you know, it doesn't need to be the pedo uncle anymore. It's online. We're aware that this goes on online, but this one just came slap in my face. And I just said I had to speak out about this and make other parents aware. Blessed love, all about the black. Thank you, thank you. I know that you're really busy today with celebrations, so very, very grateful and pleased that you're in the chat tonight. So yes, my brothers and sisters, it is an absolute travesty, this thing. So as I say, the schools are aware of it. They've alerted us, and every single parent should make sure this is not in the search history of your children. That's what I have to say about that. So, good evening, good evening. Let's move on. I want to talk about the attitude. Before I get into the Marcus Nasty story for this week, what's really kind of standing out for me with this story is the fact that there are all these, what appears to be misogynistic men in the DMs trying to make differentiations between rape and battering women. There is a reason that the government have poured millions of pounds into an agenda called VAWG, VAWG, violence against women and girls. And that includes the whole spectrum from domestic violence to child sexual exploitation, to people trafficking, to honor-based killings, to rape and sexual abuse, historic or otherwise. There's a whole spectrum called VAWG, violence against women and girls. And that's what I think some men need to understand. And it also includes stalking, men stalking women, the VAWG spectrum, you know, the VAWG agenda, which the government has seen fit to pour millions of pounds in, to create a VAWG czar, to create VAWG heads of boroughs and counties. There's a whole task force under the VAWG arena that is appointed to ensuring that there is a reduction in violence against women and girls. That's what men need to understand, and stop trying to cherry pick as Marcus Nasty's unscrupulous supporters. Blessed love, all about the Black TV. Thank you for that. We'll go into fundraising later at the end, and I know the moderators are going to be pushing that, and we really need it at the moment, my brothers and sisters. There's a lot going on. So thank you for that, all about the Black. You can, as usual, hit the Cash App or hit the Super Chat, which is in the description box with this live. So they need to understand that it's a whole spectrum. When you mistreat a woman, when you disrespect a woman, when you rape a woman, threaten a woman, do any of those things to a woman or a girl, it is illegal in this country. And our men in our community need to understand that. There seems to be this sort of softening down, this minimization of what happens to women. So, okay, you're saying that we can't prove that he raped anyone, only because he's such a monster in the things that he has done and even admitted to, that these other women are too afraid to come forward. That's the only reason why we don't come with the level of evidence that we're about to come with today. And when those victims come on today, I know that His Time Is Up family that are really about supporting these women will give them a very warm welcome. But if there is a single troll, a single naysayer, anybody that is going to come on and try to make them feel even more intimidated and uncomfortable than they already do, bearing in mind the fact that they've been so brave to give forward their evidence and come forward on this live, I know that my moderators will absolutely slit their throats and kick them out of this room. There are no second chances tonight, moderators. I'm actually quite sick of it. And I've noticed since we've started locking down again, as before, our numbers get a little bit lower because some of the people here, and only marginally lower, really, percentages don't even matter at the end of the day. What we do know is that we have quality in the room and people that understand this platform, people that are here to support survivors of sexual abuse, survivors of domestic violence. We've highlighted both on this channel before, and I'm not quite sure why these people are cherry picking. But as I said, the VAWG spectrum, it encompasses stalking as well, you know, sorry, my brothers and sisters, it encompasses stalking as well as an issue. Sorry, don't know what's happening here. I've gone off into a completely different realm. I'm sorry, I just lost the whole live just now, but I hope you guys can still see me. So, oh, God knows what's happening here. Yes, my brothers and sisters, you know me and the tech, it ain't always too good. So let's keep it moving. So basically, stalking is an issue. Now, what I'm about to say to you guys, you know, I do with a heavy heart, because I have tried to manage this situation on my own, you know, privately, as you kind of would with this kind of stuff, okay? And it has fallen on deaf ears. So I feel that I have been stalked, if you like, albeit in the most subtlest of ways, you know, and the fact that we even have to make those differentiations, oh, you know, well, it wasn't even that bad, he's not turning up at my door, or anything like that. It's still an imposition. It still shows a lack of respect for women. When a woman tells a man no, it means no. Whether that is that she doesn't want to be pursued, whether that is that she really doesn't want to go out with him, or she doesn't want to have sex with him, all of these things are about consent. So if a man is pursuing you, whether that is through messages or it's in person at a wine bar or wherever, and you tell that man no, my brothers and sisters, is it not reasonable? I mean, I want to hear from the brothers on this one. Is it not reasonable for that brother to take your answer as no? Right? No means no. You know, it's a shameful thing. So I've been receiving, and this is somebody that follows me on Instagram, this individual. This is somebody who's probably in the live tonight. No, I don't want to restart my computer. That's the worst thing that can happen right now, my brothers and sisters. So that notification is going. But that individual is probably in the chat, in the live tonight, is pertains to be a really big supporter, you know, comes across that way, has even come on the live and shown support for this live and all the rest of it. But ever since probably last year, when I was in Tanzania, this individual has, you know, sent me things, different posts and different things, his live, whatever. And every so often will send a message that I feel is a little bit fresh, asking me to link up. Okay, you know who you are. And let me tell you something, my brother. I have tried time and time again to deal with you in my DMs, brother. And I do believe you're in the chats tonight. I really, really do. I'm going to look for you here. I can't see you at the moment, but you've probably jumped off out of embarrassment. Who knows? But today is your day. Your time is up today, because you've been pestering me in my DMs, asking to go out with me, asking to link up with me, meet you for a drink, and all these types of things. And I have been telling you quite respectfully, no, I am not on that, you know? So this individual is not taking no for an answer, and he's deluded in a way. And I'm going to show you why, my brothers and sisters. I've screenshotted some of the messages. But the reason I know that there is like full ill intention, okay, militant one, okay, the reason I know that there is full ill intention is because I got a message from this person, from this brother, when I was going through the bereavement with my cousin, or more accurately, my cousin's wife, who we were all very close. So this individual sent me a message, a DM. This is the most recent one, saying, you know, sorry to hear what happened. Add me to your WhatsApp. Now, this is after a long line of other messages. Will you go out with me? Let's go for drinks, whatever. And I keep telling him to behave himself. You understand, my brothers and sisters? And that's why I'm telling you about it, because I want you to know, Mr. Man, that it's not acceptable. I've told you no again. So I'm going to show you, my brothers and sisters, what he's been saying. And you tell me if you think I'm overreacting, because what the other thing why I know there's ill intention is because the earlier messages from last year and whatever, where he was saying this, he doesn't say it all the time. I usually tell him to behave himself, and then he just sends me normal stuff and says sorry, and then he keeps doing it again. So those earlier messages, he's deleted them. I only realized that when I started screenshotting and doing what I did, because I hadn't really been paying him much mind. So you've deleted those because you know it's wrong. Why would you do that? And on top of that as well, you're trying to sliver in. This is the way predators work, into what you believe to be a vulnerable situation with me, hence, namely the bereavement. So let me show you some of these, my brothers and sisters. This is the individual that we're talking about here. Yeah, this individual here. Let me just stop my cam so you can see that. This is the individual that calls himself King Smiley on Instagram, but militant when he comes into this live, basically. All right. So here's the message from him, where he's basically saying, oh, I'm really sorry to hear what's happened to you, Afua, or sister. Again, I can't really see the screen that well myself. It's really small today. But I've deliberately taken out, blacked out his number, because he's shown me his number and he says, WhatsApp me. So I'm saying, why must I WhatsApp you? Though, bro, why must I WhatsApp you? Oh, I just thought you wanted to keep the link. So I'm saying to him, There is no link, my brother. There's absolutely no link with me and you. We've been through this before. And I'm telling you that, I talk to you on Instagram just like any other person. And I've told you this several times before. This is what I'm saying to the guy. Yeah. Let me just find the next one. So he goes on to say, I've said to him, yeah, so I've told you this a few times before though. And, I've said to him, he says, okay, no worries. And I'm saying to him, well, you've said, okay, no worries before, but yet here you are. And his reaction is, well, I just thought you wanted, I just was trying to show my gratitude. Now, I'm completely befuddled. I don't understand why this man, who, to be honest with you, I'm finding quite creepy, my brothers and sisters. I'm just trying to find another picture of him that I believe I did upload. Maybe it didn't. Let's have a look. Right. No, I can't find another picture of him, the other one that I had. So I'm not having it. I'm not having it. It's creepy. Stop, militant. Stop. You've made me had to out you. You wouldn't take no for an answer. Sorry, there is one more thing. I've got another message from before. These more recent ones about, add him to WhatsApp and whatever. And that's where he's saying this. Hi, hun. We should meet up for drinks. It's overly familiar. It's not a hun situation, my brothers and sisters. It's overly familiar, and I'm not quite sure what this brother's angle is. And gratitude for what? This is what I'm saying, bro. Mother never raised no fool. Gratitude for what? All of these kind of grooming type strategies and techniques, and whatever else. I just really can't understand it. And yeah, that was his number. No, I covered his number, by the way. I hope I did. I blacked out some of it. I hope none of it's got out. That would not be intentional. I did attempt to black it out. Somebody said, was that his number? I hope I have blacked out all of it. But the bottom line is, my brothers and sisters, is that is the kind of thing that men think to be quite normal. Men like him, I should say. Not all men. Because not all brothers operate in that way. Yeah? Not all brothers operate in that way. But you can see from that, I've told him several times, even though he's deleted those messages, I've said to him, I've told you several times. He doesn't respond to that. He says, well, I thought that, I was just trying to show my appreciation or gratitude. Gratitude for what? I don't understand. Lots of people send me messages of gratitude. I think you're doing a great job, blah, 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 blah. I'd love to meet you one day. It'd be really great to meet up. There's not a problem with any of that. But the way this guy's going, and I keep telling him, look, there's no link up. I'm not adding you to WhatsApp. Why are you giving me your personal number? All of these things is what is part of this problem. Because the mindset starts with that. And if you're in the same space as these kinds of people, what would it be if I was in a space with that individual and he's the kind of person that is not taking no for an answer? Is that the kind of individual that's going to start pushing me now on a physical level where other things start happening? Do you understand? It's just unacceptable. It really upset me. And what upset me the most about it, my brothers and sisters, is the fact that this individual tried to use, I am going to block him after this, but I just wanted for him to see it, for you to know, why would you even go there with a platform like this or somebody that runs a platform like this? Surely you must be aware of your behavior. It's not acceptable, militant one. It's not acceptable, King Smiley or whatever you call yourself. And you've shown that you're moving, what's the word, bookie, by deleting the earlier messages and then continuing to make the requests that you've been making. That ain't acceptable in my books. I did try to call him a couple of times, actually. I didn't, not a couple of times, that's not true. If you see it on one of the screenshots, you'll see like call ended and started and ended at the same time, because I went to do it and then I turned it off. Because I thought, you know what? I haven't got the energy. I actually haven't got the energy right now. I really, really haven't got the energy. I tell you, what a week. What a week, my brothers and sisters. But things like that upset me. Don't try to think that I'm so vulnerable because of a family bereavement that I'm now going to say yes. Those are predatory tactics, and we don't appreciate them around here. We really, really don't. We really, really don't. So I'm hoping that we're going to have two sisters come into the studio right now. Hope they're going to jump on. One of them WhatsApp message isn't going through, my sister, so I hope you're on the live and you can see. I'll put the link out. I know I gave it to you earlier, but I'll put it out anyway. That's not for anybody else to join at this stage. We will have time for that, as you well know, guys. But I'm putting the link out in case one of our people have not been given the link or received the link by WhatsApp. Blech. Yeah, that was a mouthful. So there you are. If you want to jump on. But please, my brothers and sisters, keep the room very quiet and very sensitive, because this sister, it has taken a hell of a lot for her to make this journey from the first moment when she contacted me or they contacted me. She'd seen the first post, and for a long time she's been suffering in silence. So welcome, A. If you can call her sister A at this time. I'd like to welcome to the stream, my sister. Welcome to Afua Speaks Community Conversations. How are you?
Hey, nervous, but I'm okay.
Sorry?
Nervous, but I'm okay.
Yeah. You're a little bit low.
Oh,
if you can turn your mic up a little bit, or it might just be my end. Let's have a look. I might be quite low. Yeah, I think it's me that's low. Don't worry. I can hear you now. So it's taken a real journey, hasn't it, to get here? I know that you were really, really intimidated by the thought of speaking out because of some of most of the things that you've suffered over a really long period of time from this individual. I think you're on mute, sis. You've muted your mic. Yeah, you're back.
Sorry. Sorry. I thought I was turning it up. Sorry.
No, that's okay. You're back. Sorry. No, I was saying that it's taken you a hell of a lot for you to get to this point to actually come and speak out on the live, hasn't it? It's been a really hard week, having to relive everything.
Yeah.
And to take your power back, really, because you've suffered greatly, haven't you, at the hands of Marcus Nasty?
Yeah.
Can I just say to all sound and something that you need to connect your mic? If that is who I think it is, if it's one of our survivors, can you just rejoin, please, sis? Yeah, because your mic, it says your devices are not connected. So if you can do that, that'd be brilliant. All right. But you're okay.
Yeah.
You're okay, sis.
Yeah. Obviously, excuse my voice, as you know, I've not been very well this week.
No, exactly. I know that you've also been unwell, haven't you?
Yeah.
You know, you've been unwell. So it's a big feat to come on and speak out. Just take us a little bit through why it is that you chose to speak up today. Because you were aware of the first post and you know all the backlash and all the things that went on around that. But you weren't necessarily somebody that had seen the live, had you?
No, I hadn't at all. A friend of mine actually sent me a post that you'd put up and said, "Have you seen this?" And I haven't, because I'm not really on social media, and I haven't been for a while. And I suppose kind of it's a little bit of a shock to see that somebody else would actually say, you know, it's kind of similar to what I've been through. And I obviously never thought I'd really be in. There has been times in the past where I've kind of mentioned it to people, and I've kind of, Marcus has obviously interfered when I've spoken out before, not spoken out, but if I've mentioned it before. So I kind of just, you know, didn't really mention it to anybody and just kind of moved on as much as I could. And then when I saw that, it was quite a big shock, really, if I'm being honest, that somebody would actually say something, because as you know, Marcus is very intimidating. It has been a very long time that he's been able to do what he's doing. His behaviour has gone unchecked for a very long time. You know, and I know I said to you earlier today, I wanted to make a point of Marcus is very, very smart guy, and he's very clever at making anybody that would say something about him look crazy, or look, you know, I've had some really awful things said about myself. There's been other women in the past that I've known of, you know, we've sort of been pitted against each other. And, you know, in the past, I look back, not embarrassed, but it's a little bit hurtful that I kind of fell into that trap and let him kind of pit me against other women, when really, you know, we were probably going through similar situations at the time. And I just kind of felt a need to say something, because after such a long time, it kind of felt like, oh, maybe I'm not crazy. Somebody else has said, you know, that this is what happened to you is actually real, and you're not imagining it, or you're not, you know, this person that everybody thinks you are because you've been with him and you've had a bad experience. Because I know there are a lot of people that don't have or probably have a very wrong opinion of me, which is probably I shouldn't be that bothered about, because I don't know people, but it is quite hurtful when it's your character and you know you didn't do something out of spite, or you didn't do something for vengeance, but you've been made to look like that. Yeah, I suppose it was a bit kind of a freeing feeling that somebody else has kind of said, you're not crazy, you're not, you know, what happened to you is real.
Sure.
So
let me stop you just there a minute. Somebody's asking, what does he look like? You know, not everyone has seen the Instagram post.
Yeah.
So this is the individual we're talking about, Marcus Nasty. He's Marcus Ramsey, aka Marcus Nasty. He's a well-known DJ on the scene. I don't even know what kind of music he plays, but he's on the scene. Can I just say as well, conversations, I can see you, but your device is not connected. You need to either update your device or connect your camera and your microphone before you come in onto the live. So I think I think it's who we're expecting, but I don't think she's connected her device properly, so she's not been able. I can't join her at the moment. So let me just try and. Okay, so. All right, let me just try and get rid of them. If I get rid of you, can you rejoin A? But I think I'm about to get rid of her.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant. I didn't get rid of you as well. No worries. So, if you don't mind, A, I know this is really difficult, but just take us through, you know, the things that you've suffered at the hands of Marcus Nasty. And I will point out as well that this isn't about a rape allegation, is it?
It's not. It's not at all. Not at all. No.
It's not that at all.
No.
But I am going to ask you what your opinion is. I did before. Of whether or not you think that this individual, in your opinion, is capable of going to those extents. Even though you've not experienced that yourself, you were both very adamant that it wasn't that, and that needs to be pointed out. There was no indication in the post that I put up that was the case for you. You know, if you don't want to give your opinion, let me know, but I just wanted your opinion on that. I know that we've spoken about it in private.
Yeah, maybe not. Sorry.
Okay, cool. No worries. So, yeah, if you can take us through you know, I'm going to turn my camera off in a minute because I'm going to call C. I'm going to call conversations because she's not realizing that she's not connected. So I will be listening. And if you can just, you know, just take us through the things that you have experienced at the hands of Marcus Nasty.
So I met him through a friend in 2016, and the relationship moved very, very quickly. He moved in with me to my house. He was amazing to begin with, really, really lovely. And the first incident, I suppose, that happened was over a picture I put on Facebook.
Sis, you've got a slight feedback. I don't know if there's anything that you need to mute. Just a very slight feedback. It might be that you've got something else on, or it might be a headphone.
No, not quite. I can
All
kind
right,
of hear.
if we can't get rid of it, we'll work with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead, sis. Sorry to interrupt you.
No. The relationship moved quite quickly. And he moved in with me. And at first, he was really, really lovely. And the physical violence didn't start with me. He first did, smash stuff up in the house. The first thing was the TV, which was over a photo that I'd put on Facebook where he thought that I was looking for too much attention. And then it kind of escalated from there quite quickly. And it got to a point where he was physically violent. As you know, I've kind of discussed with you before an incident where he strangled me, which I actually don't really talk about, and I haven't actually really discussed with anybody, and I'm not really okay to talk about it, but it did happen. I've had to have MRI scans since for memory loss, and he knows that he did that, and he admitted that he did that to me. Also, there was an incident where he not directly urinated on me, but I was laying under a sheet, like just a normal bed sheet. We were having an argument, and my son, I have a son, was in the next room, and we had an argument where I said, please, don't disrespect me in my house in front of my son. He stood up and said, I'll show you what disrespect is, and he urinated on everywhere while I was laying under the sheet. He just quite a few incidents of just different physical incidents. He didn't ever directly, and I was, because I've said to you from the beginning, I want to be really, really truthful. He never directly punched, didn't punch me in my face or anything like that. It was more things like the strangulation. He was obviously working at Rinse FM at one point, and we were outside one day, and he dragged me by my hair in the courtyard outside Rinse, and I had quite a number of scratches and bruises on my legs and my arms and stuff. He would, with Marcus, I don't know if other people have said this, with Marcus, as much as he can be physically intimidating, the mental things that he does are quite terrifying, and the kind of control that he could have over you, and because of the position that he has, I spent a lot of time where he would accuse me of maybe sleeping with people that he worked with, like other DJs and MCs and people, and I never knew them, never had met them. He would accuse them of me having them at the house, but at the same time he was accusing me of having them at the house, he would then go to them and tell them that I'm a crazy woman, so that they would dislike me, if that makes sense. A lot of the stuff with Marcus is quite emotional and mental. I got into quite a bit of debt because of him, stupidly, which is my own fault. I'm an adult, I make my own choices. I took out a phone in my name.
Sis, I think you might be slightly experiencing some bad coverage. I think that's what it is.
Sorry?
I think you might be slightly experiencing some bad coverage where you are, because you're kind of chipping in and out.
Oh, sorry. One sec.
Sounds a bit shaky. Yeah, it's your signal.
Is that better?
Slightly.
Ooh.
Try and press on.
Sorry. Is that any better?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. Just lots of different things. Sorry.
That's okay.
Probably sounds like I'm going through different stuff. It's just that I've never really actually spoken to somebody and come out and said this stuff. But yeah, probably the strangulation was probably the worst thing. And the thing, the worst thing, he knows he's done this stuff, but instead of, and I said this too, I've kind of become friends with.
It's really difficult to hear you. I think you might have to jump out, jump back in, or try and find like somewhere where there's more bars on your device or something, because you're really breaking up.
No.
Are you on a headset, sis? Have you got like earphones on?
No, just a phone.
Oh, okay. I don't know why it's really bad coverage.
Let me see if I can come out and get better.
Yeah, I think it's actually the signal more than anything else.
Is that any better?
You're doing well, sis. You're doing well.
Is that any better?
Yeah, are you on speakerphone?
Yeah.
That's what it is then. Could you take it off speakerphone for me? Maybe that's
Should we take it off speaker?
Please, yeah, if you
Okay,
could.
sorry. One second.
That's okay.
Take it off. Sorry. Is that any better?
I think so, a little bit. Hello?
Hi. Sorry, I don't know what's happening. It's a really bad.
I think it's the signal then. If it's not
Yeah.
speakerphone, then it's definitely signal.
Yeah.
But yeah, do you reckon you could get to a better signal or jump out and jump back in? That might help.
Yeah. Let me come out and I'll come back in.
Come out and come back in for me.
Yeah.
So you guys can hear how nervous she is, apart from the signal failures and whatever. You know, this young lady is just absolutely petrified of this individual. And I just want to know if, okay, well, you know, we'll draw the line at rape, but it's okay to pull hair and urinate on people and beat them up. And we're going to hear from somebody else if she can get on, because right now she's having some technical difficulties herself. That usual thing where your device is not connected is affecting her. So I'm hoping she'll come on and tell her story, which is equally as heinous. And it's just total violence and disrespect for women. Yeah, let's wait for sister to come back on. Let's take some comments while we're waiting, actually, because brothers and sisters, I just don't know. How does this happen? How does an individual even justify this? And at the end of the day, if you've changed your life around and you're saying that, you know, this is over a decade and you were a young man, that, you know, we can work with that. That's fair enough. But this latest thing was in 2016, I do believe, the actual offence that he's been convicted for with this young lady that's going to come back on, hopefully. And actually, there were further breaches because there's a restraining order that was breached in 2018 and that was disposed of in 2019. These are recent events. That's just 3 years ago. Yeah. There's things that have been more recent, according to some people that we've spoken to, sisters that are too afraid to come out. This is not somebody that's changed. Let's put all of the rest of it to one side. You know, where's your evidence? I hear them bay. Well, this is evidence, and it's only 3 years ago. Yeah, this is not someone that's changed their life around. And people seem to want to bury their head in the sand and accuse me of trying to drag this guy when he's trying to do better and all the rest of it. But has there been a paying of the compensation that's due? Has this individual apologized to this young lady? You know, has he reached out? Has there been any kind of restorative justice for this individual? I think not. My brothers and sisters, I think not. So yeah, let's hope they get back on. I'm not sure what the hold up is all about, but let's hope they get back on. If not, we'll crack on with a different segment until they do get back on. But give me a second, my brothers and sisters, because I'm going to try and get hold of them and see if there's any technical issues. You know how it is. Let me just mute up. Okay, so sister says she'll be about 2 minutes. She's just trying to connect to her Wi-Fi. She's in a kind of low signal area, and she will join us in just a couple of minutes. I was going to sort of do something else in between then, but let's just kind of waste some time in the comments. Yeah, that's another thing we could do, isn't it? Call her, and somebody says maybe call her and put her on loudspeaker, which we've done before. Yeah, that's actually a good idea, because we don't let anything deter us here on the His Time Is Up platform. We've had many technical difficulties over the piece, and we continue going. It is a very, very sad story, Michelle Femiola. Very, very sad story. And the majority of it will not come out because it's very personal, some of it. And this sister, she really doesn't deserve that. Yeah, somebody says, what was that woman who defended Marcus last time? She's nowhere to be seen. This is always what happens, isn't it? It's been like tumbleweed from some of these individuals. I tagged all of them, actually. I went back over the old post for all those that were baying and talking about stuff, and tagged all of them in the post, actually. And very few of them came back. There were one or two other newbies, I do believe, that came in saying, well, this isn't rape, is it? And why are you dragging up stuff that man's already been sentenced for? Well, excuse me, this victim is still suffering. There's been no type of, as I say, restorative justice. He hasn't even paid the compensation, and she's continuing to feel intimidated by this individual. She's not gotten over it, and by all accounts, as you go on to see when she comes back, by all accounts, he by all accounts, he hasn't addressed any of the situation. Not at all. Not in the slightest. I was going to talk about a bit more, but I'm really waiting. God, technical difficulties tonight. It's ridiculous. It really, really is. Yeah, so they're not there. They're not anywhere to be seen. They're not anywhere to be seen. They never are. Someone says, can you go to a different police station for these cases? Well, there are different police stations, because not all of these cases are from Brixton. Mother Never Raising a Fool. Yeah, there's always someone that's, Peppy says, there's always someone that has been through the same thing but wants to defend the perpetrator. Absolutely. Every single time. Every single time. Robert Blake says, it makes me so angry hearing how people defend these people. Who can they, when not one of them was there when it all took place? Absolutely. Absolutely. Bless up anointed in the place. You don't know. If you know, you know. And yeah, let me just see what's happened to the sister. I think I might have to put her on loudspeaker, as you guys have said. And yeah, let's do that. If it takes that, it takes that. We'll get her back, because her story really needs to be told. Give me a moment, my brothers and sisters. Brilliant stuff. So it looks like we've got sister back. We've got you back, eh?
I'm so sorry. Can you hear me
No,
better
you
now?
don't, honestly, you don't have to apologise at all.
Sorry. Can you hear me better now?
I can hear you better now.
Yeah,
Fantastic. Thank
sorry.
you.
Sorry about that. Yeah.
So you were basically you were taking us through the things that you have suffered at
Yeah.
his hands, basically. Yeah.
Yeah. So towards the end of the 2017, it wasn't actually myself. I didn't call the police myself. It was my neighbour, who had Marcus had gone out one day and he had my key, and I was locked out. And my neighbour saw me sitting at the bottom of the stairs, and she said, "No, come up for a cup of tea." And when we got back up to her house, she said, "You know, I don't know if you're going to hate me for doing this, but I think I know what's going on." And she basically called the police, and they came to the house.
Yeah.
And he was arrested. I didn't talk straight away, because I was scared. And eventually, obviously, I did, with a really good friend of mine supporting me. And eventually, he was arrested, and it went to court. It went to Highbury originally, and they transferred it over to the Crown Court. But what actually happened between that and the sentencing, which I'm not embarrassed about now, but at the time I was very coerced into thinking that everybody else was against us, and that our relationship was fine, and that people were trying to make me think that what he was doing was, wrong, but really he loved me, and stuff like that. So I eventually ended up dropping. I ended up dropping on charges. So
You mustn't blame yourself for that, eh? You mustn't blame yourself for that. As you say, you was coerced. It's all a part of the manipulation tactics that perpetrators like this use.
Yeah, because a lot of the narrative that Marcus has, and he still has it now, and I know he does because I've heard from people that he said it to them, is I tried to put him in prison. And I know I've said this to you before, in private. My aim was never to put him in prison. My aim was to just scare him to stop doing what he was doing. And if my aim was to put him in prison, I would have gone through with all the charges that I could have gone through with, and I chose not to, because that wasn't my aim. I was still in love with him at the time, and it was just to scare him to stop doing what he was doing. It went to court, and he was convicted. He pled guilty, said that it was because it was better for us that he did, and that he asked me to go to the court with him, which I did the first time, and asked me to say to the judge, "No, this is all a big mistake. We want to be a couple," and stuff like that. Which I did go to the court eventually, and he got a suspended sentence, which was for the common assault and the criminal damage, because he caused quite a lot of damage at the house. I dropped the other charges, the strangulation and the other stuff. I dropped those charges. Sorry.
It's okay. Take your time, sis. You're doing real good. You're
I'm
doing
so
great.
stupid. I dropped those charges, and obviously he got a suspended sentence. He was supposed to pay me compensation. I've never received the compensation. I don't want it now. He's never paid it, and he's never going to pay it. And I don't want it now. And that was, the relationship continued. The only thing that I am proud of is that when he was arrested and I got him out of the house, I never let him back in. I could still continue to see him, but I didn't see him at my house. And that continued till 2018. And I tried to break up with him again after other incidents and stuff. That he would get people to contact me, and he would tell people that I was, so many different, like, conflicting stories. He would just tell people I was crazy and I was this horrible person that tried to put him in prison and stuff like that, and everybody hated me.
Just adding insult to injury, really, isn't it?
Yeah. And then eventually I just got sick of it. I couldn't do it anymore. So I contacted the police, because originally when it had gone to court, I was given a restraining order. And I know it's my own fault. I didn't enforce the restraining order, carried on contacting him. It had got to a point where I'd stopped. And when I reported it to the police at the beginning of 2019, they arrested him and he was taken to court again. But he used an email that he had gotten me to write to say that it was okay for him to talk to me, that he'd told me to write, and then obviously the sentence was suspended again, and that basically after that was it.
So this is the kind of thing, my sister, that those of us that work in the remit of Vogue and domestic violence and stuff, we lobby the criminal justice system all the time to gain some understanding around the kinds of things that women are subjected to, especially if they're going to trial by their perpetrators and their partners, and they just don't get it. Of course, women bow out. Of course, they drop charges. That was recognized actually in law when the police decided that they were going to make, or the government decided that they were going to make it legal for the police to be able to pursue domestic violence cases without the consent of the victim. And that was as a recognition that women pull charges in those circumstances all the time. But it hasn't gone far enough. That kind of training has been lost, and they seem to have no understanding around it.
That originally actually happened in the first court case. The detective that took my statement and basically said to me that he wanted to arrest Marcus himself because I think he'd had maybe the experience with him before, and said, I know what this person is like. And obviously Marcus was at Rinse FM at that point, and the detective said to me, we can't find him because I don't think Marcus has like a fixed address or whatever, how you would find someone. So they said they were going to go to Rinse, and they went there, and the detective went there, but the Rinse warned Marcus not to come there because the police were going to come and arrest him. So obviously he didn't go there, and they couldn't find him. That was the first time round. But obviously, since then, I don't have anything to do with him now, and I never would again. I don't want, my main aim of this is, when I heard or saw when other girls were talking about him, I didn't want any other girl to feel like she's crazy, because I know how it feels to feel you're crazy, and I don't want someone else to feel like that.
Absolutely.
And also that I don't feel like that. I know there's people around that think I am a horrible person because he's made them think that I tried to put him in prison or I tried to do this, and I really didn't. And I mean that, I really didn't.
I know you really didn't. I really believe you. But you know what, you are more than entitled, and you have the right, with what you've been through, to put this individual behind bars. You really do. Because I can still hear, the guilt of you speaking out against him that you're feeling for having done that, and that's not, you have every right, my sister, to put
I
this
do
man
still
behind
feel
bars.
guilty because I don't want, and as well with Marcus, it's not, obviously I know he's very physically intimidating and I am scared of him in that way, but with Marcus and probably other people that have had experiences of him, it's mental, because of how he has no limit of how far he will go to make you look like you're the person that is in the wrong. And he makes up such vicious lies and vicious, he says things about people that are just really, it's very damaging, and it's very hurtful, and I've never
And
had
that's
an
all as a
apology.
means to try to
Yeah.
sort of delegitimize your testimony, really, isn't it? That's
Yeah.
why he does that. That is classic narcissistic perpetratory behavior that
Yeah.
he's displaying when he does
Yeah.
that. They all do. They all
Yeah.
vilify their victims, and oh, she's a slag, she's this, she's that, as
Yeah.
if that any of
Right.
those labels that they put on their victims makes a difference as to what's been alleged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've had all that. I've had, the people that I've never met in my entire life. I've been accused. They've been at my house, and he's going to come to my house, or I've been out with people, and he knows I've been there, or I'm a crackhead, or I'm, stuff like that. And he would just doesn't have a limit as to how far he will go to, disregard other people and make them look or feel, and it is very hurtful. And
Of course.
and
Especially
I have
after
to say this
being,
as well. I don't want vengeance for him. I really don't. But I just do not want him to continue to be able to do this to people. It's not fair,
yeah,
and it's
yeah,
not okay. It's not
absolutely.
okay. I don't want, or I don't think he understands that the things that he does actually leaves a really long level, or a level of trauma that people, they just don't just get over that. Sometimes you leave people with a very long sentence, if that makes sense, of
Yeah,
they have to
a
deal with
life
this
sentence.
trauma. And I've never had an apology. All I've had is my name made, slagged off. And he knows he did these things. He's admitted to doing these things to me. And I've never had an apology. And if I had have had an apology and he'd have left me alone and left my name alone, I would never have even thought to talk about him, because he would have been sorry and I would have accepted it. But you don't
Well,
change
at
your
that stage, you still
behaviour.
were in love with him, weren't you? At
Yeah.
that stage. How long were you with Marcus?
From 2016 to 2019.
That's 3-year relationship. That's
Yeah.
pretty
But I
serious,
wasn't
isn't it?
the only person. There were several of us in that time
Right,
frame.
absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. Yeah.
You know.
And that's the other person that should be coming on tonight. I'm not sure if she's going to.
Yeah.
I don't think she knows she can join. I'm hoping she will. Still going to try and get hold of her. But
Yeah.
as well as kind of dragging your hair, attempting to, he would have urinated on you had you not had
Yeah.
the duvet,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. If you hadn't had the duvet to barrier yourself,
Yeah.
cover yourself from that,
Yeah. He
he
would have.
would have
Yeah.
done the 6th act of
Yeah.
urinating on you, and that
Yeah.
was for the purpose of humiliating you, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Of course. Yeah.
This was after he'd attacked you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So we're going to look at some of the damage that he did in your property
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Let me just stop my cam, because it's absolutely horrendous. I mean, I just don't understand. For those that are doubting it as well, I've blacked your name out, but that's the actual letter that deals with his guilty plea and the outcome and so on and so forth. There's another one here that this is the one that I put up on WhatsApp, but it looks at the imprisonment and so on. These are emails that you receive from police officers, isn't it? So let's just look at some of the damage. Bear with us. Bear with us. Are you there?
Yeah. I'm here.
Hello, can you hear me? Yep, you can
Hi.
hear me. Okay,
Yeah.
lovely. Yeah. So this was the damage that he did to your room. If everyone can see that. That's where he's broken the actual bed.
Yeah.
and this was the furniture that was absolutely totaled. Wow. You know, your hard-earned work, I'm sure, putting your lovely place together, and this is the extent, you know, of the damage in your house. That's in your room, isn't it? This is where he's broken the TV, smashed it to bits. And actually, these are the WhatsApp messages, aren't they?
Yeah.
Where he's talking about urinating on you. And I can just take people through that. I don't need you to, my sister. I will do that. Just 1 second for me. Just trying to get it up on my own screen, because I don't know why, but my screen isn't big today. I'm sure people can see that. 1 second. Right, so he basically says, you know, that's why I used to make you do it every day, isn't it? Treat you like a prostitute. And you say, you monster. He says, tell me I'm wrong. You say you strangled me in my house until I couldn't breathe. You animal. He says, I've strangled you whilst effing you. So I've strangled you whilst effing toy since you. Whilst, you know, I don't know what he's saying there, but it's saying I've strangled you while effing you as a toy. And you didn't complain.
What he's trying to say is basically, we've had sex and I've strangled you during sex.
Yeah, that's what he's trying to say. But you're denying that. You've said, I've never once been strangled in sex, you monster. No. I hate it. I've never had that done to me in my life. But he's pretty much justifying what he's doing there. He's saying that he's treating you like an animal. He's you're calling him an animal, and he's saying, well, I just used you. And, you know, I used to strangle you and you liked it, didn't you? The most abhorrent, disgusting, misogynistic behavior. Really. I mean, it's just absolutely unacceptable. And I'm not sure what part of that people feel able to defend. I'm really not sure what part of that people feel able to defend. You know, this woman is scarred for life. She's traumatized. We can all hear that. You know, that the trauma is still very close, even though it's been a couple of years, you know? So it's all very well. What would you say to the people that are trying to cherry pick between rape and what you've experienced in terms of trauma? You know, does it make it better that the victims who have claimed rape haven't come on, and so therefore these people feel that it can't be proved? Does it make it any better?
I would just say, just don't, you know, when someone tells you something.
I guess what I'm trying to say is there a hierarchy in the suffering? Do you know what I mean? It's like there isn't.
There is definitely. Yeah, there is definitely.
You feel there is? I feel there isn't a hierarchy because the pain that you're experiencing is traumatic enough for you.
Yeah.
Do you understand? And so therefore it's equal to the pain that other victims are feeling.
Yeah.
In that regard.
No, it is.
For people to minimize your pain,
I
think is unacceptable.
And I think as well, you know, even after this discussion, I'm fully expecting some kind of backlash or some kind of reaction. You know, I know I spoke to you after the first time and I was very, very scared. I'm fully expecting some kind of backlash or some kind of statement or some kind of story that he will, because I know Marcus and he's a very smart individual. He won't just sit there and not take it. He won't apologize. He won't admit what he's done. What he'll do is clutch the straws, and he will dig and dig and dig to make everybody else look like they are the bad people, and I'm fully expecting that.
I understand you say that, sis, but I don't think he'll come for you. I know that's one of the things that concerned you, that he'll actually come and physically come for you. That's not going to happen. You know that I've alerted the authorities that could happen. And also, we're here with 450 odd people on the live listening to this. And I'm stating categorically, because, you know, there'll be a lot more people watching after this live, that if he tries it, his feet will not touch the ground. There's a restraining order in place. And we're watching. And all it will take is for you to make that call, and his feet will not touch the ground. I would be very surprised if his management company are not advising him to stay away from this. I'd be very surprised if they're not doing that. He won't, sister. He won't. Not on our watch. Put up your hands, his hands up, family, and let this sister know that it's not happening. You know, we will send people wherever we need to send them to protect you if the police aren't able to do that themselves, which I'm sure they will.
I think what ideally, and I think maybe, I don't know if everybody else, other women feel like this, with him, because of how he is and the kind of person that he is, more remorse would go a long way. A long way. You know, it doesn't have to be a huge show, but if you were sorry, would be huge. Instead of this vendetta against everybody that you've done stuff to, and this, you know, tries to make all these women look like they're these crazy, you know, against you. A show of remorse, or, you know, personally, privately, that's what would go a long way.
And that is so noble of you, you know, my sister. A lot of people would want revenge. A lot of people would want to see him hurt.
I don't want revenge. I don't want revenge. I want sorry. I don't want revenge. I want sorry.
Yeah.
And sorry, I won't talk. I won't disregard what I did to you. I won't make you look. That's what I want.
And that's the very least that you deserve, eh?
Yeah.
It's
and
the very least that
that's what they deserve. They deserve sorry.
Yep.
No. Because you carry it with you. It doesn't go away. You know, you ignore it, or any other type of trauma. Everybody goes through trauma. You know, you can.
And you've sustained some pretty nasty injuries on the back of his attacks, haven't you?
Yeah. Where he strangled me and I lost consciousness, I have like really short memory loss.
So you've broken up a bit there. You're saying that you still suffer from short memory loss because of being strangled to the point of unconsciousness.
Yeah. So, you know, I'm fully expecting some active, you know, some form of, oh, she's a crazy woman.
Well, you can't say she's a crazy woman because you've pleaded guilty to it. It's been disposed of in a court of law. There's evidence to prove that. We've shown evidence of the damage. We've shown evidence of his disgusting correspondence with you. And we've shown evidence of his sentencing, which to me didn't go far enough. They suspended it. You blame yourself for that. But it should be recognised that actually the only reason it was suspended is because he coerced you
and he actually didn't
to withdraw the charges.
Or he didn't pay the compensation. He didn't do any of the community service and stuff either. He just...
Did they not breach him for not doing the community service?
The thing with Marcus is he has no fixed abode.
So he potentially could still be at large for that somewhere.
Yeah.
But nobody's bothered to follow it up. Really? Well, I'll certainly be looking into that. That makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
That makes no sense to me, sis. So you're saying that he's of no fixed abode, they weren't able to find him.
Yeah, that's what
to breach him.
Yeah.
And that's never been dealt with.
No. Well, I didn't really chase that. I did chase the compensation for a little while because I had to pay a bill that he'd left me to pay. But then I just gave up because they just kept passing it to whichever company, and then obviously COVID happened, and then I just kind of left it. I don't really want it anymore.
I understand.
It's why I'm begging.
It should have been dealt with by the courts far more harshly than it was.
Yeah. Why do I have to beg? How many years later for you to pay me that money? I shouldn't have to beg for it. You know, I'm not going to beg for it. No. If you were sorry, you would have paid it. You didn't, so you're not sorry.
Absolutely.
You know.
Absolutely. Sis, you've been an absolute trooper. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for telling us.
And you've been amazing to me as well. You've been really kind to me.
Thank you.
No, you really have, and you've offered me like lots of support. You've been really, really kind as well. So thank you for that.
Sis, your strength is resounding around the room, because to come on, we can hear how difficult this is for you, and to come on and actually speak that truth and speak out against him in that way, in the fear that he's going to start vilifying you and demonizing you and saying nasty things about you, but you're still doing it.
Yeah.
Big, big hand to you, my sister. Big, big,
Thank
big, big, big heart of love to you, my sister. Thank you.
You
And we will
too.
catch up after the fact. You know we will. We'll keep in touch, and I'll certainly be calling you afterwards as well.
Yeah.
All right, my love.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Take care now. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye.
Oh, this breaks my heart, brothers and sisters. Absolutely breaks my heart. This sister's frightened of her own shadow, you know, in relation to these events, and how traumatized she is on the back of these attacks. Imagine somebody trying to piss on you. Imagine all of that. You know when I'm said, "Doppy not all for frightened." I tell you, it really kills my soul. I have daughters, you understand, and the behavior of these men and trying to justify it and people defending them. I want to know where Veronica is. You know, I was going to invite her on today to see if she had plenty comment the way that she did when she was saying, "Oh, you know, Marcus has changed men. Marcus he's turned his life around." Veronica, yeah, what's she got to say now? 29. I wonder if they know. My brothers and sisters, absolutely reprehensible. You know, it's not acceptable. He's playing at Ministry of Sound tomorrow. I was trying to upload the flyer, and I don't know what's happening tonight with my technology, but there's always something happening. I wasn't able to upload the flyer. Victim number 2 looks like she's not going to be able to join. Not sure what's happening with her. So yeah, hopefully she'll jump on. Hopefully we'll get to hear from her. And her story, you know, is just as deep, just as horrifying, you know, what she's experienced at the hands of this person. But yeah, he's at the Ministry of Sound tomorrow, and we've been trying to get hold of the promoters. I've had no response to hear what they've got to say about it, because this man, to me, should not be able to promote himself as a person who's helping young people, or, you know, trying to get female DJs in the game or whatever else, when he hasn't paid his dues. It's not good enough. This sister's suffering, man. It's really not good enough. So at the end of the day, you guys who are as savvy with social media and you know how to kind of find these people, go for it. That's what I'm saying, because I'm going to put a little team on it anyway. We need to actually make people aware and start making a noise about people like that. It's not good enough. They are putting themselves in the public arena as one thing. You know, if you're doing that quietly, then let that be up to the people in your social circle and your family to know about. But when you're actually putting yourself out there on a public platform, professing to be one thing and you're not, and you're actually abusing women in the background, or you haven't made amends for what you have done in the background, albeit that you may not have done that in 2022, makes no never mind. You need to not be doing that. Speak the truth or stop speaking at all. That's what we say. It's time we stood up for what is right in our community. And if it's the women that have to do it as fire warrioresses, then that's what time it is. That's what time it's been, to be honest with you, my brothers and sisters. So the link is there, as always, if you want to jump on and have comment. There's somebody, I can't remember what his Instagram name is, but we had a conversation, sorry, his YouTube name is, but we had a conversation on the phone, I think yesterday or the day before. You know who you are. You said you wanted to come on the live. We've had plenty of discourses, some quite heated. So if you want to come on, please, M, that's your initials, I think. Jump on. You said you was going to. You've always got something to say, but you never come on the live and say it. You'd rather ring me up and give me a hard time in my messenger and my DMs on Instagram and what have you. Come on the live, my brother. Say what you have to say. Everybody's opinion is valid, unless, of course, it is disrespectful, in which case you have no business here, because we are not going to have victims traumatized twice by people's comments. That sister was so scared. If you remember rightly, there was a couple of weeks ago when we had a couple of women that were going to come on, and they actually decided they're not coming because of the backlash from these naysayers and these enablers, you know. And that was the same fear for our sister A, who we just heard from. That was the same fear. Jump on. There's the live stream. Copy and paste it into your browser. Jump on. Remember to connect your camera and your your mic, because people have been having a lot of problems with that. If you're still watching victim number 2, survivor number 2, please still try to join, but get it on your laptop or something like that. That works for a few people if they can't get on via their phone and so on. But yeah, let's hear some commentary. But in the meantime, while people are okay, Deha 06, all these women are sitting ducks if this dude is on stage. Yeah, well, this is it, isn't it? This is it. This is the issue. So yeah, we've contacted, I tagged Ministry of Sound and I emailed them, and I've had no reply. But if you remember rightly, his agent was all about her money. She didn't really care about the victims. She was convincing herself that this was a changed man, and it was all about her money. These promoters care about their money. They don't care about what these men are doing. They don't care about the fact that their events are beat like hives for this type of activity and this type of violation. They don't really care about that. They're not doing anything. But, you know, part of the work we're doing is to make inroads with these people. So in the same way that they have, I don't know, notices, safety notices under health and safety about whatever, they need to have notices warning women about drinks being spiked, perpetrators luring them from the event, and actually DJs that might use their status and their power to draw women in. That's what needs to happen. Somebody says Kiss FM is still entertaining him. So I've heard. I don't listen to Kiss FM. Nightmare 71 says, you know, screw Kiss FM. I won't publish that bit. You know, it's just unacceptable, my brothers and sisters. So jump on, have your say, especially you, McGovern. You know you are. Come on and have your say. You said you were going to. Let's do it. Let's chop it up. I don't know what everyone's afraid of. They're all calling me privately to have their say. They're all up in the comments. There's another one, Vixen, UK, whoever that is. I suspect it could be a troll. I don't know who that is, actually. It might not be. But that's another person with high opinion. Come on, let's chop it up. Let's have an intellectual conversation. Tell me what it is that you oppose so deeply. You know, instead of having this infantile back and forth in my DMs where you're being rank and I'm being even facier. Let's do it properly. That's what this platform is about. It's a community conversation. But these people choose to do things in the most malign ways. And they, you know, I don't mind all of it. It's all a joust for me. When I'm bored and I haven't got anything else to do, I go in the comments and joust with these people. Yeah. So it doesn't matter to me, but it actually affects the victims. It affects the survivors. It affects how they feel speaking their truth. And these people need to be thoroughly ashamed of themselves. I cannot believe it. But my brothers and sisters, I need to share something with you guys, yeah? So you're all aware that you saw the video of when the police came to my house, right? You guys saw that video. Sorry, 1 second. Try to get it up. You guys saw that video of when that happened. So since that time, I've had a solicitor that has been trying to liaise with the police for them to transfer it from Brixton, first of all, which took ages, and to transfer it to my local police in my area. And that has also taken ages. They haven't responded. Not one iota have they responded. And my solicitor has sent them an email basically saying that this is not a police matter. I'm going to show you kind of snippets of that. It's quite a long email. And I'm going to show you the response that my solicitor has sent to the police in relation to the clerks trying to get me arrested. You know, I don't think they're the people that have decided what the charge is, but they certainly made the complaint. And the police have decided that they want to question me under caution, under the Malicious Communications Act, under Section 127 of the Communications Act, for malicious communication. That's their angle. Okay. So my solicitor, after much toing and froing and them ignoring it and not showing any real urgency, sent them the correspondence to this effect. So let's see if I can get it up. And if you look there, it says, Dear PC, we're blocking out names, obviously, people, because we don't want to identify officers in cases and things like that. But it says, Dear PC, I have been informed by my above named client that you contacted her to ask that she attend a voluntary interview under caution next week. My client was first contacted by officers from Brixton Police Station on the 20th of February, supposedly in relation to an inquiry into alleged offences under Section 127 of the Communications Act 2003. Improper use of public electronic communications network. She was not interviewed, and I understand that the matter was subsequently transferred. I presume that you wish to speak to her in relation to the same investigation. This relates to videos posted on the YouTube, blah, 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 blah. And then he goes on to basically say, okay, that it is a matter that is not a police matter. And it also, what it pertains to, he goes on to say, let me just pull it up. He says that if he's correct, it says, if I'm correct about this subject matter, then I do not understand why it is thought that a criminal investigation is appropriate. You should be aware that the ambit of Section 127 offence was recently defined in the case of Scotto, 2020 EWHC 3421 admin in the following terms. Those observations are not directly in point, but in my judgment, the wording, legislative history and context make it appear that the mischief at which the offence now contained in Section 127 was aimed is not the communication of information or ideas that offend the recipient, or even the communications of messages that have offence as a purpose. Its object was to prohibit the abuse of the facilities afforded by a publicly funded network by repeatedly exploiting those facilities to communicate with another for no other purpose than to annoy them or cause them inconvenience or needless anxiety. The focus is not on the content of any communication, but rather its purpose and the way in which that purpose is put into effect. It says, I have no doubt, and remember this is a case law ruling, that's what he's pointing out. I have no doubt that repeated instances of prank calls, silent calls, heavy breathing, and other common forms of nuisance phone calls contain no meaningful content would fall within the scope of Section 127. So what that is basically laying out, without having to go through the whole thing, okay, what that basically is laying out, it's saying that Section 127 pertains to that type of activity, and the emphasis is on the purpose of the communication as opposed to the content. And in this case, it pertains to heavy breathing, things like that down the phone. So nothing to do with what I've been posting. And it is a civil offence. My solicitor goes on to say to the police in this email, that unless it is suggested that Miss Rose has engaged in conduct of the type described above, which does not appear to be the case, then there would not be any basis for the police to suspect her of having committed the offence. Note that she has not declined to attend a voluntary interview, and nothing in this email should be read as justifying the arrest of our client on necessary grounds. But I do not think it reasonable that the police review. I do think it reasonable that the police review the basis on which you wish to speak to her before indicating a suitable time and date for interview. Okay? So the upshot of that is, my brothers and sisters, because it is a little bit kind of judicial and highbrow, okay, is that this is not an arrestable offence. This is an offence. Not only is it not an arrestable offence, so it shouldn't be pursued by the police in its present form, but it's also an offence that does not pertain to the posting of things on Instagram on a platform like this or YouTube. It pertains to heavy breathing. So why are the police still pursuing me for an interview? They want to interview me tomorrow at 3:00 under caution for this same offence, even though my solicitor has told them time and time again that this is not an arrestable offence. And he's laid it out in case law for them. Answer me why that is, my brothers and sisters. And I'm torn at the moment. I'll tell you why in a minute. So further to that, they hadn't responded to this email for quite some time, okay? And I noticed that when they came to my door the last time, after it had been a good little distance between when the complaint was originally made at Brixton and when they showed up at my door, quite impromptu that Sunday morning, the distance between then and then was quite a distance as well. I knew nothing of it, okay? I knew nothing of it. I hadn't been informed until they turned up, pretty much. So they turn up, but they turn up just before the High Court hearing the first time, okay? We have the High Court hearing. That outcome is what it was. You know, we won, and it all went to sleep again. My solicitor has sent these emails. You've just seen an example of one of them, wanting to say, you know, we will come for interview, but actually you need to kind of drop it. No response whatsoever until yesterday morning. Suddenly, now remember, I was in the High Court today at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So yesterday, they pop up again. And there's an urgency now in what they're saying. There's an absolute urgency. You know, they're saying that we need her in on Monday. This has gone on for long enough, and she needs to come in on Monday. So I get an email from my solicitor telling me this, forwarding me that email. And so I say, you know what? According to your advice, yes. I just want it out of the way. I know that I haven't done anything wrong. And I know that this is all a bit of a stitch up, because as I fully have every confidence that this man knows what he's talking about. He is a solicitor. He's qualified in the law. The police don't always know the law as completely as a solicitor is or a barrister. And that much is evident in how they operate. So I'm saying, okay, I'll go in on Monday. No biggie. It's a voluntary interview. I volunteered to go in. No one's dragging me in. Let's just get it out the way and get it done and dusted. Okay? So that was in the morning. We had this email exchange. And I know that the police were forwarded this email. So as far as I'm concerned, we are now in a very civil way between my legal representative, the police, and me arranging an interview. So imagine my disdain when I'm sitting in my house, there's a bang, 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 bang on my door. I look out the window neatly and it's them. But I just carried on working on my laptop. I didn't even get up. Because I thought, really? They dropped a letter, my brothers and sisters. Now look at this letter. So yeah, look at this letter. So this letter was dropped through my door. It wasn't enough for the police to accept the email correspondence that I'm coming in on Monday, okay? I've blocked out names and addresses, of course. But it says, Dear Miss Rose, I'm writing in regards to voluntary police interview under caution for an offence of malicious communications contrary to Section 127 of the Communications Act 2003, sending by means of network messages other matter which is grossly offensive or of an indecent, obscene, or menacing character, or causes any such message or matter to be sent to for purpose of causing annoyance, inconvenience, or needless anxiety to another. Due to the fact that this matter has already been delayed for such a long time and several opportunities given to arrange it by yourself and your solicitor, this needs to be done as a matter of urgency. And an interview has been arranged for you on the 21st of the 5th at 1500 hours, blah, blah, blah. My brothers and sisters, they are suggesting that myself and my legal representative have not, tried to communicate with them. You know, it says here, due to the fact that this matter has already been delayed for such a long time and several opportunities given to arrange it via yourself and your solicitor, this needs to be done as a matter of urgency. What's the urgency? You didn't show any urgency when we were trying to get hold of you. Why the urgency now, right next to this thing? I smell bent. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why they're not accepting my legal representative's argument. I don't know why they keep popping up impromptu. I don't know. But I'm being told by my legal that if they do attempt to arrest me for this, it will be an illegal arrest. The likelihood is it will be an illegal arrest. I'm told by other people that have advised me that, bearing in mind it's a voluntary police interview, I don't actually have to go. But I have been advised to err on the side of caution by my legal that if I don't go, they'll probably try to arrest me, albeit that it will be illegal. Now, if this isn't harassment, my brothers and sisters, I don't know what is. And the speed with which they want to arrest me for these minor matters in comparison to the police reports that we've put in, I don't understand it. So something weird is going on. I don't know if I'm going, Angor. Angor says, will my solicitor be with me? Yes, they are playing games. What I want to ask you guys, I want to put it out to you guys. Do I stand on the side of the law? As it's a voluntary interview, do I not go? And basically say to them, lay out the reasons why I'm not going as per my solicitor's email. And basically make them aware that unless they're commanding me or demanding that I come in for an interview, namely that they will arrest me if I don't, then I'm really not going to entertain it. Or do I spare myself the ag of potentially being arrested, which I'm told they can't come into my house without a warrant, but they could pick me up on the street if they wanted to. They have the right to do that. What do I do, brothers and sisters? Somebody jump on and tell me in the chats. I am wrestling. I have my defiant Afua activist head on, and it's not even an activist, it's just who I am. Like, I don't like bullies. I don't like harassment. I don't actually care what rank it comes from. I don't subscribe to that or succumb to it. And part of me wants to say, yeah, I think I'll follow the fact that my solicitor has told them that this is not an arrestable offence. Do you understand? So it's not lawful what they are doing. It would be illegal for them to arrest me for this because it's not an arrestable offence. That's what I'm told. You can arrest me for the questioning, but you can't come and arrest me for it. Do you know what I mean? So I'm torn. And then on the other hand, I've got my mummy hat on that says, I've got an 11-year-old that don't need that kind of drama. Me and her could be trying to get into the car or coming from somewhere and these people fly down on me and it might not be, it could all go left. That's what it is. And it's my mummy hat that says that, because I lie to you not, my brothers and sisters. If it was not for my little one, I would say bring it on, because you people are actually taking the mick. Go arrest Vincent Ratt. Go and arrest all the people that Sir Lloyd, all the people where police reports have been put in. Go and arrest Eamon Edwards. Go and arrest these people. And you're coming to my door to try to intimidate me because one of these people somewhere has got a footing somewhere. And I ain't going to say too much, but I think we kind of know what this is. Stop harassing me. I haven't done anything wrong apart from to speak the truth of what I know according to what my community have been crying about for generations. And in the case of these individuals and this situation, at least a generation, people have been crying out in the community, and you people have done absolutely nothing about it. But yet you want to harass me and scare me, or attempt to scare me, because I don't scare easy, into coming in and engaging in your process. On my own, that's what I would be doing. I'd be saying, do one. Come and arrest me if you must. I'm told it's illegal. We'll rock it out from there. But you're not going to be able to scare me and have me over a barrel, because I know I'm standing on the side of righteousness. This is a calling. Yeah? This is not something that I chose. For those of you that have been on this from the beginning, Today, I'm not going to lie to you, my brothers and sisters, and I'm kind of getting a lump in my throat at the moment. But I have been dealing with so much on a personal level these last 14 days. If you ever knew what I've been dealing with, it's not just bereavements. I've been dealing with a lot. Okay? Those who know. Big up my moderators, big up my team, big up my prayer warriors, big up those who know. Okay? I've been dealing with a hell of a lot. Today, I just felt, you know what? I can't do this live. so much of it is close to home and so much other stuff going on. I can't even do this live, but I do it because of my commitment to the sisters, my commitment to this community, and my commitment to seeing this thing through to the end, because I've promised you that I would. And it will be easy for me to just slip away. Easy, lemon squeezy. I've stayed way past my remit. I only came back for the March last year. But with all that's going on and the constant correspondence that I get from women that need this, I said, I'm not leaving here until I leave behind the infrastructure. I'm not leaving. So I'm making my own personal sacrifices. When I see people getting at me and vomiting their bile and their insecurities and you know, whatever problems that they've got or issues that they've got in my direction, because suddenly I'm supposed to solve everything. Or they're constantly doubting. Doesn't matter how many women come on. Doesn't matter how much evidence we present. They're here doubting. And then there's this stuff. And there's that stuff. Of course it takes its toll. I've never stood up here and told anybody that I'm inhuman. I haven't. But I tell you one thing, I have a burning desire for social justice. I have a burning desire for the truth. And I don't back down easily. I don't scare easily. If I believe that someone's trying to bully me or intimidate me, that's the point that I'm going to stand up and dig my heels in and say, well, then kill me. You know, kill me. There's some lines that I wrote actually, and I kind of do it sometimes when I do certain events and whatever, because it's all very fitting. But I wrote it many years ago, and it says, I take my freedom lest I die, for pride runs through my veins, not blood, and principles support me, so that I with lifted head see liberty, not sky. For I am she who dares to say, I shall be free or dead today. And I wrote that from the belly, from the soul, because that is what I believe in. And I believe in the most high living God. I believe in the revealed scriptures in their pure form. I'm a praying woman. So I'm a woman of faith and passion. And people need to understand that. What is it, this reggae artist? What's his name again? Chronics. We do it for the love. We don't do it for the likes. That's what it is. So yeah, there's a lump in my throat today, because I'm here still at nearly 11 o'clock at night when I'm absolutely floored and exhausted from the last 2 weeks. Why? Because people need to tell their story and get out their truth. And we need to keep highlighting these things in our community, my brothers and sisters. Please keep on supporting. We are getting to where we need to go. We applied for some funding recently. It was a major fund, and we made a good enough pitch, I believe, but we weren't successful, and that's the name of the game. Next time we will be, and we'll keep on going until we are. But that's the nature of the beast. But it was our first real kind of strikeout in terms of getting the funds that we need to get these things off the ground. All of that takes money. It takes support. It takes these things. Please keep on giving, my brothers and sisters. You know what time it is. We got to do what we got to do. I've got to do what I've got to do and keep on doing it. So here are the usual means by which to make those donations if you're able to. Whatever it is you have, it could be £1. I like the £1 principle. If everybody gave £1, then we wouldn't need to be constantly asking, I do believe, because thousands of people watch these lives. And I reckon we could do it in one swoop if everybody committed. We'd be able to at least get the first phase off the ground. So there are the usuals. We've also got Super Chat added in the description box. And other than that, my brothers and sisters, unless we're going to have some studio guests that want to come on and, give their opinions, tell me what they think, then we're probably going to wrap it up for the night, my brothers and sisters. There's the link one more time. Somebody said Empress Tamar is good for advice for funding. Yeah, everybody, like, whatever it takes. I mean, I'm used to working in certain sectors and what have you, and, writing bids for these big organizations and what have you. Little rusty, because I haven't done that side of the work for quite some time. And to be honest with you, I think I could have spent a little bit more time on the bid, but I just didn't have the time. And that's what it is. So I put a pretty good pitch in. I think there could have been improvements. I've got a feedback meeting with those people. And also I've been assured that they want to support the campaign, regardless of whether or not I'm able to access those funds. So it's all a positive. It's all a positive, my brothers and sisters, and we'll continue to do the work that we do. Few more minutes, jump on. Let's hear what everybody's saying. Somebody says they're trying to get your documents to shut down. I don't know what that means. But bottom line is, my brothers and sisters, what do I do? Somebody jump on and tell me, or put it in the chats. Do I go or do I stay? Do I go tomorrow to the police station to answer to these bogus charges and potentially be illegally arrested anyway, if that's what they wanted to do? Or do I wait for them to make their next move? Because what they're doing is wrong, and I have the full backing of a legal representative to tell me that it's wrong. What do I do, people? What do I do? Do I spare myself the drama because I've got too much going on anyway? Or do I do what my belly is burning to do, and that is make a stand against bullies? What do I do? His time is up, enough is enough, says wait for them. Put a 1 up if I should go. Put a 2 up if I shouldn't go. That would be good. Because I'm torn. I'm completely torn. I've got arguments for and against in my head. Put a 1 up if I should go and a 2 up if I shouldn't go. Is that what I said before? I think so. 1 up if I should go, 2 up if I shouldn't go. Let me see how many we got. We'll add them up. Yeah, let's do that. Come on, guys, participate. There's loads of you on here. Okay, enough people are saying should go, 2 is shouldn't go, 1 is should go, 2 is shouldn't go. So let's see what it adds up to. Keep going, my brothers and sisters, keep going. We're going more towards the should goes, just to get it out of the way, right? Yeah, looks like it. Some don't goes as well. Some people are saying don't make them come for you. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, when I look back on the chat, I'll be able to add up or maybe do a little tally. Maybe the moderators can do a little tally for me while we're here for the next few minutes and see how that goes. It's crazy. It's crazy. I'm so conflicted though, my brothers and sisters. I really don't know what to do, because I do want to dig my heels in. Like, you know, in your belly, you want to kind of make your stand. And as I say, that's just my natural volition, even if it wasn't anything to do with these circumstances and somebody tried to come along and bully me. I wouldn't be having a bar of it. I'd be saying no to that, especially police harassment. I'd be saying no to that, you know. Rosemary, welcome. You're live. Welcome to Afua Community Conversations. Blessed love, sister.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah.
Great. Oh, wow, I'm coming out my comfort zone today.
It's all good. It's all good, sis.
Wow, what a powerful meeting today, presentation.
Thank you, sis. Oh no!
Wow, I just.
Oh yeah, sorry, you froze us now. Sorry.
Sorry. I've been. My heart has been wrenching from what I've been listening today. I've just recently connected with yourself, and you know, I think it's about the 4th time I've been on your show, and today my heart really wrenched from what I heard from Lady A. Personally, I think I clicked on because I wanted to say, no. Your legal team is directing you what to do. Like you said, they know the law. The police don't know the law, you know. And if you bow to them and you go all the way, the judge is only going to kick it out anyway, because there's case law there.
Yeah.
Case law is already, you know, that just predicts what the outcome's going to be. So why waste your time? Let them waste their time.
Well, my legal team have given me the choice. They've said what it is. They've laid it out. And they've basically said, look, to spare yourself the aggro, you might as well just get it over and done with. But if you've got the stomach for this fight, then don't go. like diggy heels in, you know.
Don't go.
So they've given me the balance, and
Stay in the
quite
private.
rightly.
Don't go. Let them come back to you and challenge you.
Because it says a voluntary interview under caution. So that's in the wording, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Voluntary.
But because of the way they've been moving,
well, they're using
the
legalese,
fact that
aren't
we think
they?
it's bent.
Yeah, they're using legalese. It doesn't mean anything.
Do you know what I mean?
If you had to go, then it would have clearly stated that you need to be there, and it would have been an instruction for you to attend here at this time. So don't go.
Yeah.
Don't give them. Don't.
That's
give,
what my belly's saying, sis.
Yeah, follow that. Follow that. We have that intuition that.
But my head is saying, what if it goes left and my little girl gets in the middle of it? I don't need all of that. She doesn't need all of that more.
But you know what? She's in the middle of it already, isn't she? She's already in it. She's got a mother who ain't.
I think if I don't go, what I need to do is just put in place of I've got lots of support. Put in place a little few emergency kind of mechanisms,
contingency plan going there,
and keep it moving.
Exactly. That's what you need to do. Yeah. Okay, that's all I wanted to say. But yeah, I've come out of my comfort zone today.
Thank you, sis.
You're welcome.
Thank you, sis.
You're welcome. Take care.
All right. Thank you, my sister. Blessed love.
Yes,
blessed love.
Take care.
I'm not sure what I'm going to do, to be fair. What sister's saying is absolutely where my head is at. Yeah. Somebody, Kay says you have a child, you don't need them to come for you. Absolutely. It could go left, couldn't it? But it's the weekend. And as I say, I've got lots of good support. She's got older siblings. What would it be? I don't think they're going to lock me up on remand. But even if they did, as I say, my daughters have my password, so you guys would know about it. And I would expect a full contingent of His Time Is Up old schoolers and supporters to be outside wherever I was, making a lot of noise. That's what I would expect, guys. That's really what I would expect, because they'd be bang out of order to be doing what they're doing if it went that far, But that's just, it won't. Hold on, who is this person? Hold on a minute. Nah. This can't be who I think it is. It says, good, just bring your legal team. Go run off your mouth, innit? What does that mean, run off your mouth? I don't know. Is that my brother? Chris, UK tuned in. Is that actually you, or is that someone pretending to be you? Because I'm kind of not getting what you're trying to say, bro. Anyway, yeah. So I'm going to add up the tallies at the end. I'm going to look back. Bring a crowd and legal team, even better. Yeah, it's possible. I'm going to sleep on it, basically. I've got until 3:00 tomorrow afternoon. Somebody says, Afua, now get lock up. My brothers and sisters, if it's aside from my 11-year-old, let them do their best. Because I tell you one thing, if this is scare tactics, we're going to arrest you, we're going to fling you in prison at the end of the day, that's really not, I'm not that chick. Do what you got to do. Let's do some bird. Okay. I'm standing up for what I believe in. I'll be a political prisoner as far as I'm concerned. The scare tactics thing is not going to work on me. If you're coming legitimately and I've legitimately committed a crime according to what you're saying, then, I'll hand myself in and we'll talk about it and we'll see what the outcomes are. But these kind of scare tactics and trying to bully and intimidate me is what I take issue to. And when it comes, it doesn't matter who it is, whether it's feds, whether it's an individual. I don't like bullies. I just don't. And I don't succumb to them, my brothers and sisters. So we're going to discuss it. You guys all know what's happened, probably after the fact. I might put something up on interview. Yeah, but it's been a long old game, hasn't it, my brothers and sisters? It has. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I don't know. I wish it was like the summer holidays or something and I could just send my daughter up to where she needs to go and then I'll sit here and rock it out with them. But what I wouldn't want is a scene that she doesn't need to see. But I'm told they can't come to the house unless they get a warrant. And that would a court even grant a warrant in these circumstances? I don't know. I don't know. Part of me says no, part of me says yes. So I'm going to make that decision overnight. I will let you guys know how that, what the outcome of that was. And we'll keep it moving from there. So thank you. His time is up, family. It has been an absolute joy. I doubt we're going to get anybody else jump on. We're up to the 2-hour mark now, which is more than enough. And as always, I really want to thank you guys for the warm welcome that you give the women that come on here. And we haven't had really any disrespectful people on the live today. So I'm very grateful for that as well. Some of those people that have been in the DMs all week don't seem to have come on. Yes, Janice Spence, they would appear to have a person or two in the force. Who knows? But bottom line is, my brothers and sisters, I will be back here next week. We'll be looking at some new cases, updating you as to the latest as to what's happening with this police and court matters. And yeah, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. But we keep on believing, we keep our faith, we keep the passion, and we keep on exposing. His time is up. Thank you, my brothers and sisters. I will see you again next week, same time, same place. Blessed love, and keep on donating, my brothers and sisters. I got a court case coming up. I got to represent myself all over again, and we need as much support as we can get to keep this channel going, to get to our objectives in terms of services, and also potentially to fight off these perpetrators and these paedophiles when they want to take us through the legal system unjustifiably. Thank you, my brothers and sisters. Blessed love, and I will see you next week.